Welcome to the beautiful island of Poseidon, an independent state located off the coast of Sian. Due to the island's location near the equator, the climate during the entire year stays at a comfortable 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Poseidon has a total size of 1,800 kilometers square, with a total population of 900,000 residents. Closest neighbor to Poseidon is Serene Island. This island also has a resort and several activities on land. However, due to a large natural reef that borders the island, guests are forbidden from swimming and practicing other water sports. The large reef is considered a natural reserve by the government. The vicinity of Poseidon is Rubicus. While also a popular location in the past, the large traffic of tourists, in addition to the local residents, have left the beaches littered with trash. Unfortunately, the government of Rubicus doesn't have the resources to clean their beaches. Thus, many tourists as well as citizens from Rubicus choose to spend the day at Poseidon. Poseidon features a mixed economy because this way the superstructure is controlled by the private sector, such as shopping malls, hotels, and restaurants. The infrastructure is in turn mostly state-controlled. Both sectors share resources.
This system gives the private sector great opportunity to raise profits while keeping infrastructure, water supply, electricity, and other important areas under the control of the government. In terms of government intervention, the government is responsible for maintaining flawless infrastructure. This means providing public transportation, trash cleanup, and traffic management. If all of these aspects are done well, the island will become more attractive to tourists as it is easy to get around and, most importantly, clean. Crime is also a very important issue that the government must take care of. Low crime rates mean more tourists and increased security for local residents. The government also gives subsidies to hotels which hire local people rather than immigrants. This helps create jobs and stimulate the local economy. It is also the responsibility of the government to regulate the inflow of tourists onto the island in order to protect the resources that allow for tourism to flourish. For example, in order to maintain a steady water supply for the island residents as well as the hotels, there must be a limit to the amount of tourists allowed per year. GDP represents the total market value of all goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. It is a combination of the consumption, investment, government purchases, and net exports. Since our main source of production is agriculture, we specialize in a unique fruit which grows only in our country, referred to as caviar lime. It has a high market value as it is recently becoming popular in Michelin-starred restaurants, but a low to mid-level yield. Our main industries are hospitality as well as tourism. The island sees 400,000 tourists per year, which brings $6.5 billion. Other kinds of production from Poseidon include fishing and rubber production. This accumulates in a yearly GDP of $9.5 billion. The hospitality market structure of the island can be considered as an oligopoly. There are already a few big hotels dominating the market, as well as high entry barriers such as limited land resources and government regulations. To open a business on the island, you need to be an official resident of Poseidon.
The resort's name is Lord Seashore. It is the only resort in the south of Poseidon. Lord Seashore is located at the foot of a mountainous region and has beautiful beaches. The total area is 600 kilometers squared, with a length of 50 kilometers and the width of 20 kilometers. Lord Seashore has 4 hotels, which are the Queen's Bay Hotel, the Saltwater Hotel, the Daydream Hotel, and the Lunar Hotel. There are many natural resources available, such as land, solar power, stone, sand, a large water supply, and wood. Other resources include labor and capital. Our tourist attractions are beaches, waterfalls, mountains, and plantations. Every year, our resort organizes a firework festival to attract more tourists. The activities tourists can experience here are windsurf, swimming, diving, kayaking, hiking, mountain biking, and many others. In the resort, we have other establishments including airport, harbor, bank, hotels, hospitals, car rental shops, restaurants, souvenir shops, and shopping malls.
Our hotel's name is the Queen's Bay Hotel. It's a 5-star hotel located in the Lord Seashore Resort. Queen's Bay Hotel is the closest hotel to the harbor and a 30-minute drive from the airport. We cooperate with a shuttle bus company to provide guests a convenient journey from the airport to our hotel. The organizational form is characterized as a limited liability company. We have a total of 134 rooms and 6 private villas. Our facilities include a spa, a swimming pool for kids too, fitness center, restaurant, playground, and a kids club. The other services we offer are in-room dining and laundry. In our hotel, we have 120 employees in total. including the front of the house and the back of the house. The cost of production of our hotel is divided into two parts, which are fixed cost and variable cost. For fixed cost, we have property taxes, land and building, insurance, employee health and property insurance, security services, maintenance, contract fees, advertising cost, payroll, subscription to a newspaper and magazine. Our variable costs include the telephone and internet bills, food and beverage, housekeeping, cleaning supplies, guest amenities, printing supplies, and management fees.
We position our hotel as a premium establishment. We have a high price, but at the same time high quality of the goods and services provided. Saltwater and Daydream are 3-star hotels. They provide similar quality, but the prices of Saltwater Hotel are a bit higher. The Lunar Hotel is keeping the same prices as the Saltwater Hotel, but provides a bigger variety of good quality services. We target the active and sporty people with no age limit and people with a medium to high income. From the targeting side, we try to be equitable because we accommodate all genders, all ages, and we welcome LGBT guests as long as they can afford their stay. We're also family-friendly as our hotel has facilities to accommodate kids. However, we are inequitable because we target people with medium to high income, which means that people with low income will not be able to stay at our hotel.
Talking about economy of scope, we have one supplier which will provide multiple goods. For example, we will buy chicken and eggs from the same supplier. By doing this, we will save cost of delivery because we will receive deliveries only from one supplier, and if we have one supplier for specific goods, we can buy in bulk, which results in cheaper prices. In terms of economy of scale, our hotel chooses to employ one person who speaks multiple languages rather than multiple people who only speak one language. This is in order to minimize labor costs.
Price of good or service. Since the economic system of the island is an oligopoly, paired with the fact that we have a unique establishment, the rise in our prices and our competitors' prices will not affect the demand. The decrease in prices, however, would increase demand. This is not an effective strategy for us because of the kind of clients that we are trying to attract. Price of related goods. Change in price of complement goods is a determinant of demand for our hotel. This includes the price of airline tickets, cruise tickets, as well as increase in prices of local services such as shops, restaurants, and bars. Decrease in price of service A increases demand for service B. Government restrictions. Government restrictions are also an important determinant for demand. If certain countries have difficulties receiving a visa for Poseidon, the demand will be less from those specific areas. Marketing and advertising. Effective marketing and advertising will increase demand for our property by spreading brand awareness and attracting more clients. Determinants of supply. Taxes and subsidies. If the government provides subsidies for certain raw materials, such as beef, needed in the production of certain dishes in our restaurant, production for said items will increase, which will cause the price to decrease. This means that our restaurant will be able to supply more beef dishes at a lower production cost. If the hotel occupancy tax increases, hotels in the area may be forced to supply less rooms as it will become more expensive for them to provide said rooms. This means that supply for the hotel will decrease as taxation increases. In order to compensate for closing the rooms, the hotel may encourage guests staying in the available rooms to spend more on hotel facilities. Government restrictions. In terms of government restrictions, the government of Poseidon tends to restrict the amount of tourists allowed on the island per year. This is in order to preserve certain conditions on the island. The less tourists allowed, the lower the demand, meaning that rooms can be closed at this time for different reasons. With the rooms unavailable, the supply decreases. Labor cost. Labor cost is another determinant of supply for our hotel. Since we have 3 restaurants, if labor cost goes up, we may not be able to support this number. This means that we may need to close one restaurant until labor cost goes down, thus decreasing our supply of dining options for guests.
The price elasticity of demand for the Queens Bay Hotel can be seen as inelastic. This is because we are the only 5-star property in the area. Thus, we provide a unique style of service that can only be found at our establishment. This is also a bonus as people who value status will not be affected by a rise in prices. We are classified as a luxury good and have an income elasticity of demand larger than 1. Psychologically, if a client that wanted to come to our establishment but was not making enough income suddenly starts making enough to stay with us, the likelihood is that said client will come and stay with us. In relation to other hotels, our cross-price elasticity is zero, since we are in different positioning areas. This means that if a lower-ranked hotel increases or decreases prices, this will not affect us directly. Price solutions. By using discounts and allowances such as early payment off-season or bulk purchases, our property will attract more people. Allowing certain flexibilities and discounts for taking advantages of them will be appealing to potential clients. Discounts for bulk purchases, for groups, or early payments, for example. Product mix pricing is also a pricing solution employed by our hotel, such as packages, since this is an easy way to sell less appealing rooms. Unemployment is an external factor that affects demand. If the unemployment rates are high in places where people commonly travel to our island, then we will see less traffic as they no longer have the income to support staying at our property. At the moment, unemployment rates are low, both in places from where people visit as well as on our own island. Currently, our island is experiencing a creeping inflation. This is beneficial for us because the prices of the supplied products used in daily operations are now cheaper. On the other hand, Robagos and Serene Island are experiencing a running inflation. This means that it is cheaper to go to our island to buy necessities and other products. Thus, people can stay overnight if they are unable to take the ferry back to their island. Poseidon's currency is the US dollar. This is because the nearby islands as well as mainland countries also use this currency. Thus, travelers will not have to exchange money and worry about losing money when they need to exchange currency. This also attracts more people from nearby areas.
Impact on the local community. Negative. Unfortunately, there is some water pollution because of waste management issues. Since this is an island and the government will not dump waste in the ocean, waste management plans must be implemented to avoid contaminating the drinking water supply. In order for the hotel to avoid water pollution, they may implement their own water treatment facilities in order to recycle water used. Noise pollution is also a problem. Since this is a tourist location, a lot of noise is generated in the area. Combined with the sounds from natural wildlife, such as loud birds and monkeys, the island can get very loud. In order for the hotel to deal with this, they may install soundproof windows. This will cancel the noise outside and provide a pleasant experience for guests. Positive impact on the local community. The local community can benefit from the resort and our hotel in particular. This is because we can attract people from outside who will in turn spend money in local shops, restaurants, and bars, thus generating income. The building of hotels can also create employment, not to mention that jobs will be created as more cleaning staff will be needed to keep the area spotless and unpolluted. The island's recycling program is also a positive externality, as it will help maintain the island, create jobs as mentioned before, and attract more business. The island also rewards those who use solar power to avoid pollution. If water pollution is kept under control, demand will increase. This is because clean water will be free of disease and safe for all people of the area. When hearing that the area has clean drinking and bathing water, tourists will be more attracted, thus increasing demand. It is also important to keep the area clean. Decreasing pollution will positively affect demand, as an unpolluted area is more pleasant to stay at. Our neighbors, Rubigos, are experiencing this issue as no one wants to stay at their dirty beaches. Lastly, noise pollution can be very unpleasant. Thus, if handled correctly, the demand for the area will be high. However, all of these increased demand may result in lack of supply.
Let's look at the hotel from an economics perspective. Our hotel is related to the private sector establishments. Thus, its main purpose is to create profit. In order to do so and pay dividends to the shareholders, the establishment should generate business. Queens Bay is positioned as a luxury 5-star hotel. Thus, significantly decreasing the prices to attract more clients is not an option. If we were to do this, we would attract other groups of visitors which are not part of our target market, which can in turn negatively affect the hotel's reputation. The best development strategy option for us is to establish good relationships with big companies in order to attract their headquarters. For example, if a worldwide company organizes an incentive trip for their employees and all the participants stay in our hotel, this will be a huge economic impact on our property. In order to develop our economic conditions, we can expand the hotel. The increase in available supply will bring more people since the demand for this particular destination is very high. More people equals more rooms sold, thus increase in revenue. Also, investments in facilities and entertainment will have an economic impact on the development of the hotel. By providing a wide range of activities, it will be fair to raise prices. Since demand for this destination is inelastic, the increase in price will positively affect the economic situation without causing a decrease in demand. All of this will also positively affect the country's economy in general. Tourism is one of our biggest industries. A larger amount of tourists will generate more business for the local community, as well as positively influence Poseidon's GDP and create more jobs for local residents.